So this article that I came about is called Unlearning 100% Compliance. It was written April 8th, 2014, and it's Sophia Lucido Johnson. That's who wrote it, Sophie Johnson. Okay, so this is written by Sophie Johnson. So when I look through the folder of photos on my computer from the past 5 years, there's this one that is especially sad. At the time it was taken, the picture made me happy. I even had a big print made of it, and I hung it up in my classroom. It was a picture of 100% compliance, a Doug Lemove teaching strategy that's being reiterated to me throughout multiple professional development sessions to the point it basically become part of my personal dogma. I believe in peace, love, equal rights for all, that salted caramel is the best flavor of ice cream, and that children should always demonstrate 100% compliance. 100% obedience, compliance, authority to submission, capitulation, all the things I've been talking about the whole time. Okay? And it's incredible. It's incredible. It's heartbreaking is what it is, that somebody could be so fucking heartless and so fucking sick. They'll sit there and pretend to be a motherfucker's friend and just stab you in the fucking back like that. That's Elizabeth fucking Rogers at Spalding University. They didn't teach anybody, and I do have consolation because they're going to be a dying fucking industry. They're killing themselves. They're not teaching anything to anybody. All they're teaching is, you know, you're a fucking bitch, shut the fuck up, student. I'm the fucking boss and you're nobody, so sit down and shut the fuck up. Well, you're not teaching anything, so actually you're the fucking problem. You're sitting there pretending you're way more important than what you are, and you're not teaching anybody any fucking thing. Your 5% is all you retain with the lecture. So if you're lecturing the whole time, you ain't teaching shit. You can't call yourself a teacher if all you do is lecture. It's 5% retention rate. You're not teaching anybody if all you do is lecture. And that's pretty much how I've been taught since day one, has been lecture. The teacher's going to talk about how much they know and all the shit that they know, and talk about, you know, show all the knowledge to us. But in terms of actually getting us empowered and getting us some autonomy, getting us into democratic systems, they don't do that at all. And that's a big problem. We live in the, you know, it's supposed to be, we export our democracy to other countries. We bombed Iraq to give them democracy, right? So they could have elections. Well, elections isn't the only thing democracy is. That's only one part of democracy. Democracy is ruled by the people. So what does a democratic fucking classroom actually look like? Is it one autocratic fucking... And another thing on top of this is, you know, it isn't just about the ideals of democracy. There's so much to this. In a classroom, they blow such an opportunity, okay? You have a classroom, so that means you got 30 students willing and ready to learn social studies. They're willing and ready to learn, so you're going to be the one that teaches them. How are you going to teach them? Well, if you're going to be the autocratic fucking dictator, you're not teaching them to respect themselves or each other. You're not teaching them how to treat each other better. You're teaching them that you do as the fuck as you're told, or else you'll get fucked up. So basically, you're teaching them to fucking respect any authority figure blindly. And that's insane. Say you don't trust anybody with freedom, but you're trusting people with power. That's how the Catholic Church got away with all their fucking crimes. You have, you know, they're sitting there molesting all these fucking kids. Nobody gave a shit about them kids. Nobody said anything about them when the Catholic Church was doing that. Spalding University comes out of the Catholic tradition. And that's what they're teaching, Spalding University. So I get some solace. I get solace with this because I think they're going to end up killing themselves. They're a dying profession. They charge $50,000 for all these motherfuckers to teach them, but they're not teaching them shit. Those same fucking students are going to go out and be fucking fascist psychos just like the ones that they were taught. A bunch of oppressor molesters. And they're going to say, listen to me or else go to the fucking ISAP. And then that's it. Right? Do as the fuck as I say or fuck you. And it's incredible. It's incredible. Like, how big of a fucking opportunity. Not only do doing this to, you know, boys, the white women ain't just doing this to the boys. They're doing it to grown-ass men. I'm 32 years old. And they're fucking with me like this. And it's fucking bullshit. Okay. So she's talking about this picture she took, right? So Sophia Johnson took this picture of her class, and they're all sitting in their squares. It's like kindergartners. They're all sitting in their squares, and she was proud because she got 100% compliance, right? Just like a fucking general who lined all the soldiers up, and she was happy that they're all lined up perfectly just as she had fucking ordered them to do. And she took a picture of it because she was so proud of it. Later on, she's going to look at this picture a little bit differently, so she isn't going to be all about Doug Lemove anymore. Okay? So when the picture was taken, I was teaching first grade at a charter school in New Orleans. It was my second year at the school, and the year before I'd co-taught with an amazing woman who was kind and tough enough to be really good at achieving 100% compliance. This fucking education system, that's all it is. It's just 100% compliance. Obedience, submission to authority, capitulation, shut the fuck up, you're a stupid bitch, you ain't a human, I'm going to take your soul and your dignity away, so you do as the fuck as I tell you to do. You do them packets, and you do them with a big old fucking smile. So you had that one guy who sat there and says, you are teaching the future of America. You are teaching the future of America here. You need to take your job serious. Spalding University is teaching the future teachers of America, and they're fucking up. They're teaching a bunch of fucking fascist assholes to be, you know, to go out and get 100% compliance, to smash their kids' souls, and to just say, do as the fuck as I say, because I'm the fucking boss, and if you don't do as the fuck as I say, I'll ruin your fucking life. And they will. So you got, you know, 3 strikes you're out rule in JCPS. So that's what they're doing. They're taking these black kids who, black people have an expressive culture. So when they walk in with the expressive culture on their shoulders, all these white teachers saying, well, I don't understand you're expressing this, I'm gonna fucking can you, I'm gonna suspend you and get you the fuck out of here. That's exactly what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing. They're not, some people might be, you know, violent and need to be kicked out. That's very possible. But it's a culture of violence. The whole fucking, within the school, the whole thing is there's supposed to be this positive behavior intervention system. And so that means everybody's supposed to be on board, but it's a positive behavior intervention system. So that means you make the relationship, you prevent the bad behavior from happening by earning the trust and getting the trust and getting in the position to be their friend, so that way they'll actually listen to you. But Julie Chancellor didn't know shit about that. I had to fucking watch this fucking video, 7-hour long video. The orientation and everything, man, Spalding University just totally, they fucked my entire mind up. They taught me that I was going to be a co-teacher. They said that we was going to be equals. They sat there and said that there's going to be positive behavior intervention systems. There's no positive behavior intervention systems at in Julie Chancellor's class at Valley High. There wasn't any at all. It was do as the fuck as she says, or else you're going to get fucked over. There was no positive behavior intervention system. She's a Nazi. She goes with the negative fucking thing in the very get-go, in the very beginning. And it's fucking bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. I should have brought my fucking video camera and fucking videotaped it, because they want to sit there and try to be like, well, you're fucking dumb because of what? Because I peacefully saw that she was a psycho and she was being a fucking shithead, and I fucking walked away. I didn't cuss at her. I didn't call her a name. I didn't rob her. I didn't rape her. I didn't kill her. I didn't do anything to her. But she's a fucking psycho bitch. They're psycho bitches. So one psycho bitch says, let's fuck this other psycho bitch up, and then they got fucked over. And that's it. That's how it happened. So, you know, I heard about this kid getting his cell phone taken away, and then he fucking hits the teacher for doing it. She stole his property. A $300 machine. You can't just steal people's machine. So, you know, if that kid was to take someone else's cell phone, right, out in the streets, and he got beat up, what would happen? Would the cops be like, well, you know, you're not supposed to have a cell phone on the street? No, it's some bullshit. You steal fucking property, then, you know, he chose violence, but there could have been some other things that could have happened. Yeah, she could have paid for the thing. She could, I mean, there's so many other ways that could have happened, but it didn't fucking matter, because once the cops are called, he gets taken out in handcuffs. She's a grown-ass fucking woman. She's been oppressing the whole fucking time. She's what's wrong with America, but he sits there and calls her ass out because he's not going to allow his fucking cell phone to be taken away in middle class. No, fuck you. That's an expensive fucking cell phone, and you can't take it away. But it didn't fucking matter. The cops came in, they took his ass out. And that's fascism. At the end of the line, at the end of the day, the police are going to side with these white women regardless of whether they're right or wrong. I've even seen a fucking clip where the man comes in to pick up his son, and the school's policies were so draconian and so oppressive, they arrested this man, and they sent him away because he tried to pick up his kid. You know, yeah, the school's got a fucking system, but the school's supposed to be helping with the students and the parents. You know, it's not just the staff. The school isn't just the staff. The school is the central building for the entire community, and if the entire community does not feel welcome there, there's a big-ass problem. There's so many problems. There's so many problems with the education system. It's incredible. But nobody's addressing it. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody mentions anything. In fact, they just go along with it. Here we got Sophie Johnson talking about 100% compliance. Okay, so let's try to finish this article, okay? Okay, so she's happy. She's working at a charter school in New Orleans. She's teaching first grade. And she taught with a woman that taught 100% compliance. That's all it was. That's all they give a shit about, right? So there's 2 of us in the classroom, so if someone was not compliant, I was able to corral the divergent kid using some secret side system. But this year I was alone. So she's sitting there saying she recognizes this Nazi being a shithead, but she's trying to be nice to these fucking kids, so that way you can actually, you know, they can trust you and you can actually teach them something. That's how learning happens. You gotta strike that curiosity. If they're not curious, you ain't teaching nothing. So I was alone. I was teaching 6-year-olds, and I had no idea how to get them to do what I wanted them to do. I used all the strategies I've been taught, but they're still wiggly and rambunctious. Sometimes they still laugh during my serious math lessons. Sometimes they asked to go to the bathroom during the introduction to new material when there was a specific rule about not going to the bathroom during the introduction to new material. They would wet their pants, which I considered an act of extreme rebellion. I was miserable, right? Oh my God, so they're pissing themselves. They're so fucking oppressed. They're peeing all over themselves. And she says that is an act of extreme rebellion. I bet it is. It absolutely is. Yeah, they're being so fucking oppressed, and you're not allowing them to use the bathroom. Now they're pissed all over themselves. You should be to blame. You should be to blame. Not only is that humiliating for them, and you have to clean that all up, and it stops you, but you're an asshole. You fucking drove that person to piss all over themselves. You want to know why these gay kids and these kids that are getting bullied are fucking killing themselves? Because the teachers are oppressor molesters. They're the fucking bullies. They don't see the bullies because they're bullies themselves. They use all these horrible fucking tactics, and they'll sit, you know, and I don't even want to go into that, but like, as long as they don't cuss, right, they're allowed to do whatever they want to do. Well, what's the implication behind, you know, move over to this chair? You need to move over to this chair. If you're an adult, you'll move over to the chair. That was Kristen Harris. I told Elizabeth Rogers to do that, but she's a fucking hypocrite. So, you know, essentially they have no fucking ideas. Oh, I wanted to mention something about Kristen Harris before. So, I was sitting there mentioning about equality, okay? So how does equality work? Well, when you have a hierarchy, one person is over on top of the other, right? Do as I say. Shut the fuck up. Do as I say. Get down in that fucking dirt, you dumb bitch. Take out my fucking trash. Take out my fucking dishes. Do my fucking laundry. Do my fucking wood. Do your fucking homework. Shut the fuck up. That's hierarchy. That's what we're learning right now in the American education system. So what is the difference between the hierarchy? Well, there's two theories that I got right now. What does equality look like? I don't know anybody that actually talks like this or even says any of these things. The Women Crisis Center is one that showed me about these power laws, okay? They showed that there's power laws and hierarchy is wrong, and so you got to work for an equal relationship. What does what equal relationship look like? So, you know, I'm a man coming from a bad situation of fucking domestic violence all around in my childhood, and so I'm coming out of that. And you know that's clearly wrong, and so you know, I clearly see that that's clearly wrong, and so I went to the Women's Crisis Center to figure out what's going on, and she says here's an equality wheel. We need to treat each other like equals. Well, I've thought about it, but I'm wondering if any of these women have thought about what equality looks like, because every heterosexual relationship that I've ever been in, if you're a woman, you win. And, you know, and it's a man's world, and there's attacks on the reproductive system. The Republicans are waging a war on women. That's true. That is happening, right? There's rape and domestic violence all across the world. That's probably one of the biggest issues all across the world. But you can have like Tiger Woods' wife who just sucks a dick, you know, a couple years and then steals all of his fucking money. And you know, like what I was saying about the police coming in. So you got a teacher and a boy. The teacher stole the fucking property, right? Thou shalt not steal. The police are there to protect life, limb, and property, but they didn't go there to protect him of his rights. He's a kid who has no rights. Nobody stand up for him, and the cops went ahead and fucked him over. They didn't give a shit, right? She was a white woman. She says, this thing happened to me, and automatically he's the one that's being sent out. And why? Why is that the acceptable? Why is that, you know, because he has no power, he has no say-so. These kids need to be strengthened. They need to have strength, they need to have power, they need to be proud of themselves, and they need to be able to function in society. And if you're teaching them to be manipulated all the time, to have 100% compliance, you're not teaching them jack shit. They're not being taught anything. So let's carry on. I got another minute, okay? So they pissed on themselves, and she says that's an act of extreme rebellion. It sucks that it has to come to that. It sucks that it has to come to me pissing all over myself for you to finally let me go to the fucking bathroom, okay? So she's miserable. She felt like a failure all the time, and so did her students. We were all miserable failures, forcing ourselves into that first grade classroom every day because the law told us that children had to go to school. And this day the picture was taken, for some reason, the kids were sleepy. Maybe it was a Monday after a crazy weekend. I don't know. But at some point during a reading lesson on the carpet, after correcting the kids a million times, get in your square, keep your hands to yourself, stop trying to knock over the hamster cage from a great distance, this seemingly amazing thing happened. I achieved 100% compliance. All the kids were in their exact carpet squares with their hands exactly in their laps, like dolls right out of the box. Oh my God, I shouted, you look amazing. I grabbed my camera, I took this picture, and I felt completely triumphant, like I had just won at teaching. She didn't win at teaching. She felt powerful because she was able to get them to comply with her demands. Do as the fuck as I say. Yeah, you had Julie Chancellor out of Valley High School, and she was sitting there saying, well, either you're not listening to what I have to say, or you're not good at instruction. No, I'm not good at instruction. You're fucking telling me what to fucking do, and then you're walking away. I did everything that she told me what to do. And when I went to talk about the 1855 Know Nothing riots, I would have grabbed their attention because I would talk about race and where does race come from, the social construct of race. But she didn't want to talk about that because she's a privileged white woman, probably a Protestant, Anglo-Saxon white woman that's had all of American society on her side ever since